Hey everyone, my name is Max. I'm an Associate Director of Paid Media here at Directive, and today I wanted to talk about something often discussed internally and externally with Directive and their clients, and that is why LinkedIn ads and sales alignment is key to really get the most out of this advertising platform. So why is that? Well, first of all, your sales team are the ones who are talking to your prospect every day, multiple times a day. They probably have a pretty good idea on who they're having really good conversations with and who they're not. And it can really help you make sure you're honing in on the right segments of people within your LinkedIn campaigns. Secondly, you're going to be able to get a better pulse on how your ad performance is impacting the pipeline and the conversations they are having. So some platforms like Google Ads have that direct offline conversion tracking implementation where you do get that full funnel view on how your leads are progressing in real time. LinkedIn doesn't have that, but they do have really, really strong B2B targeting criteria that most ad platforms just don't have. So that's actually going to come at a higher price tag in the form of higher CPCs, which leads me into my next point, which is that with this more expensive platform, we're going to want to make sure that we're investing smart in order to generate more pipeline for our budget. So let's take a look at what maybe just looking at platform data would look like. We have our audience segment, we have our cost, we have our leads, we have our cost per lead. So if we're just looking at platform data, our inclination here would be to invest more in the security analyst segment. Why? They have the most leads and it's the cheapest cost per lead. So for our budget, we would actually get the most bang for our buck investing here. Conversely, we'd probably want to pull away from security managers and security officers because the cost per lead is just so much higher, so we're not going to generate as much volume. This can actually be a pretty dangerous way to optimize your campaigns because you don't have that feedback loop from sales and you don't understand what's actually happened to these after they become leads. So to develop that feedback loop, one of the things that we do is within the lead forms native to LinkedIn, we have unique lead forms for each audience and each ad type. And so that way, within like the hidden fields for UTM content here, right, we have our audience segment and ad type here. So that way, when we get a report from sales, we can start to see where all of these different leads are coming from. We can then take that next step and focus on a specific stage in the funnel that we want to start collecting data on. So in this instance, we're focusing on meetings or SQLs. They've not only converted to a lead, but now they actually have taken a meeting with the prospect and they're in those deeper sales conversations. So these are really solid leads who could potentially become an opportunity and closed won revenue later on down the line. So once we hone in on that specific stage and we understand where they're coming from via UTMs, we can start to bucket those and add those up and then combine this with our platform data and get a much clearer picture, which is going to look something like this. So initially, right, we wanted to invest more here because it had the lowest cost per lead. But what we see is there is a massive drop off between lead and meetings, right? Only 10%. So this actually ends up being our most expensive cost per meeting. So this is a big indicator to talk to sales and understand where this leak is happening. Are not enough decision makers converting here, so they're not actually taking that next step? Are there some job titles in there that just really aren't a good fit? Is it a company size issue where we're not reaching enterprise companies and that's only who we can service? So these types of insights will actually really help you understand where you can trim the fat on your campaigns in order to boost this number. On the other side of that coin, right? Initially, we thought this was a campaign that we wanted to pull money away from, but because the lead to meeting rate is so strong, indicating that our targeting here is really good and sales is actually having a lot of success with leads from this campaign, it turns into our lowest cost per meeting. So actually investing more in this campaign will generate a lot more pipeline for us more efficiently with our budget. So just having this full picture and that regular feedback loop with your sales team is really going to help make sure that you're making the smartest decisions on the platform and actually generating revenue, because that's the entire point of why we run ads, right? We don't just want that lead number, we want to generate revenue. Thanks.